Well, if everyone could mute themselves, except of course our guest speaker and Judy, that would be great.
Yep.
So welcome, everybody. It's so nice to see so many lovely faces this morning at our fellowship meeting. I'm really pleased to introduce Raemonde Bezenar. I met her many years ago when she wasn't in our club at Riverview, but I think your husband wasn't he?
Yeah, Darcy.
Yes, and she came and gave a talk about the very thing that she's going to talk about now. So she's been involved in this for a very long time, and I'm anxious to hear what she's been doing since the last time she spoke about it. Also, we are fellow presidents together, so that's really nice too. So please welcome Raemonde Bezenar from the Edmonton Riverview Club to our fellowship assembly today. Raemonde Bezenar will do a short presentation on the Advancing Global Health Through One Health scholarships. Raemonde is the Executive Director and founder of the Mountain Gorilla Conservation Society of Canada, a national charity dedicated to protecting Africa's endangered gorillas through a One Health approach that connects human, animal, and environmental health. She's also, of course, president of the Rotary Club of Edmonton Riverview, where she champions causes that align with global health, education, and environmental protection. So I'll give it to you, Raemonde.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, it's a real pleasure to be speaking with you. And congratulations on being the first Rotary E-Club of Canada. That's awesome. It's pioneering the way forward. My name is Raemonde Bezenar, and I have the privilege of serving as president of the Rotary Club of Edmonton Riverview, actually for my second year in a row. But yes, it is a great privilege. It is a pleasure to be with you today and to share a project that truly embodies Rotary's commitment to service above self, the One Health Scholarship. Could I have yes. We're doing the PowerPoint presentation. And
Okay, did it come up?
Oh, no.
Let's try it again.
we always have technical difficulties at our club meeting every Tuesday morning.
Still?
Thank God, Jason. Yes, still. Jason, I tell you, our treasurer is a godsend because it's always rests on Jason. So yes, empowering change, the One Health Scholarship, Rotary in action for global health and conservation. Okay, could I have the next slide, please? Okay, so first of all, the initiative tackles one of the most challenging challenges of our time, the interconnected health of animals, humans, and the environment. It's a project that helps prevent disease, strengthens communities, supports conservation, and ultimately saves lives. Let me ask you, have you ever considered how protecting wildlife could help prevent the next pandemic? Or how training veterinarians to safeguard both people and ecosystems? Here are great examples of how this can be done. Could I have the next slide, please? Yes, as we all remember, COVID, that literally affected everybody. Here are some great examples of how this can be done. Real stories that show how the One Health approach turns knowledge into action and saving lives while protecting our planet so that COVID and others like COVID never disrupts the world again. Could I have the next slide, please? Meet Theophil. Theophil is a dedicated veterinarian from the Democratic Republic of Congo. He is collecting samples from a baboon to test for tuberculosis. He also works with communities collecting samples for both wildlife and people to track diseases that threaten health on both people and wildlife. His research helps prevent outbreaks before they happen, a perfect example of the One Health in action. Next slide, please. And this is Adrian. Adrian represents exactly what the One Health Scholarship is designed to achieve. This initiative trains veterinarians to combat zoonotic diseases, illnesses that spread from animals to humans and vice versa, by giving them the skills to manage wildlife health, monitor health risks, disease, and protect communities. Their work shows how investing in education leads to a healthier people, stronger ecosystems, and safer futures. Next slide, please. And here we have gorilla doctors. Gorilla doctors are veterinarians who monitor the health of habituated mountain and lowland gorillas in the wild, watching closely for signs of illness and injury. They also monitor, if possible, wild gorillas that there are still small groups of gorillas that are wild, that people have never ever seen. So in order for gorilla doctors to be able to monitor the health of wild gorillas is very, very tricky, because the gorillas that never reach or have people see them will know that you're coming and be gone. So it's very, very tricky to find the wild ones. But it's also really warm knowing that there are still wild gorillas out there that people have never seen. So that, to me, is a real silver lining. Veterinarians, again, are the ones who monitor the habituated mountain and lowland gorillas. When a gorilla is sick, trapped, or wounded, they intervene in the forest to provide medical care, often the difference between life and death. This work is a powerful example of One Health in action, protecting endangered gorillas while reducing the risk of disease transmission between animals and humans. Together, Adrian, Theophil, and the gorilla doctors illustrate the impact of this approach, connecting science, conservation, and community health to create lasting change. Could I have the next slide, please? Here we have some of the rangers who protect the park every day. They are the front line in safeguarding wildlife, patrolling forests, and ensuring that both animals and people can coexist safely. Their work is critical to conservation, disease prevention, and maintaining the health of these ecosystems. Next slide, please. Here is the local community engaging in a symbolic gesture to show their commitment to the environment. Each person is carrying a branch of leaves, a reminder of the importance of protecting natural resources and living sustainably alongside the forest. Projects like the One Health Scholarship connects directly with these communities, ensuring that conservation, health, and education all work hand in hand. Next slide, please. Okay, the One Health Scholarship aligns perfectly with 4 of Rotary's areas of focus. Disease prevention and treatment. These veterinarians will be on the front lines identifying, preventing, and managing zoonotic diseases to reduce global health risks. Community economic development. Healthy wildlife populations sustain ecotourism and agriculture, supporting local communities that depend on thriving ecosystems. Environmental conservation. Protecting wildlife is essential for biodiversity and ecosystem balance, and these trained veterinarians will play a role direct in that mission. And water, sanitation, and hygiene. By improving environmental health, the scholarship helps promote clean water access and reduces disease transmission in vulnerable communities. Next slide, please. Global impact and collaboration. The One Health Scholarship is more than a local initiative. It has a global impact. Through partnerships between the Rotary Clubs of Edmonton Riverview and the Rotary Club of Gare in Belgium, Jasper and Leduc Niscu, we are training veterinarians who will work across Africa and beyond to prevent zoonotic diseases outbreaks. These scholarships bring their skills back to their home communities, addressing public health challenges, protecting wildlife, and supporting sustainable ecosystems. By connecting education, conservation, and public health, this initiative is a powerful example of international collaboration in action. Every scholarship strengthens networks of trained professionals who are ready to respond to disease threats, safeguard endangered species, and improve the health of both people and animals around the world. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Thank you. Oh, the last one.
Okay,
The
previous one?
Yeah.
Doesn't want to go back either. Here.
This, the gentleman on the left is Adrian Natari. He is originally from Rwanda. He is actually a gorilla doctor, and he is beyond brilliant. A very fine gentleman who is boots on the ground, and he climbs the mountain almost daily to monitor gorillas. And he was one of the gentlemen that you saw at the beginning of this presentation, and he was monitoring gorillas. And so that is what Adrian does. And Theophil is on the right-hand side. He is from the Democratic Republic of Congo. He is actually a full-time lecturer at a university in near Luiro, which is in the south province in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I have had the privilege of being able to meet both of these gentlemen on two separate occasions. Last year, I spent at least a week with Adrian, and I've also spent a week with Theophil. And then previously, I spent another week with Theophil, and I was able to actually meet Adrian at the airport in Holland for a quick interview. But both of these gentlemen are outstanding, and they're beyond brilliant. So I had been with both Adrian and Theophil step by step through COVID and through their whole process of getting their master's degree in wildlife health and management. And they both attended the University of Makerere in Kampala, Uganda. So I'm very proud of both of them, and I'm very proud of them. They're extraordinary. So next slide, please. Creating lasting change, global impact and collaboration. Oh, I just said that. Sorry. Sorry about that. You know what's funny? No matter how many times you do a presentation, you still get nervous. I don't know why, but it's getting better and better. Okay, so creating lasting change. By equipping veterinarians with specialized skills in wildlife health and management, we are investing in a future where human, animals, and the environment can thrive together. As Charles Mayo once said, the prevention of disease today is one of the most important factors in the line of the human endeavor. That's exactly what Rotary is doing, building a future where collaboration, education, and innovation lead to a healthier world for all. Could I have the next slide, please? There's actually two slides. What I have done in the past is I enjoyed participating in marathons. So this was my very first marathon in Rwanda, and how fitting it was to be able to don a gorilla suit, since there's gorillas in Rwanda. So this was, I have obviously more pictures, but this is one of the pictures that I have, which really I think is, fun, because these gentlemen in the background who are actual runners and can run at the speed of sound, they're like looking at me puzzled because I'm first in line. So that was quite an experience. And I will get on the second one, please. the next one. This, I had done the extreme ultra marathon at Everest. So we spent like 2 weeks getting to Everest, spending a couple nights at the base camp of Mount Everest. And then I did an ultra marathon, 60 kilometers from 17,800 feet down to a much lower altitude, put it that way. So that was quite an experience. But again, everything about donning my gorilla suit, it's about education, and it's about, there's always something to be said. It's like, why are you wearing a gorilla suit? Or I look like a yak. It introduces conversation, and it's a great way for me to be able to show my dedication and love for an endangered species that is absolutely incredible. If you ever have the opportunity to go on a gorilla trek, and also the community economic development that trickles down from that, and obviously the important role of scholarships. And so basically it's spearheading what I am always trying to champion, and that is the One Health scholarships. So there will be, I think there's one last slide, or maybe not. Okay, but okay. So I would like to invite the Rotary E-Club of Canada 1 to partner with us in this meaningful initiative. Our goal is to support 2 veterinarians in completing their master's program at the University of Liège in Belgium. It's a 13-month program. Your support will help train the next generation of wildlife health leaders, people like Adrian Natari and Theophil Wakiluba, two outstanding scholars and community leaders who are already making a difference. Thank you for the time and for the work that you do through Rotary, and for sharing in this vision of a healthier planet for all. I look forward to your questions and exploring how we can collaborate. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. How did you get involved
This is
in
what
the,
I want to know.
in the
Okay.
first place? What
Uh,
triggered it?
In gorillas?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've always been, I'm a huge, I love to travel, and I obviously love adventure. And on my second trip to Africa, what I did was I did 9 gorilla treks, and I did my own solo. I had my own driver, and we went to, like, I was in Africa for like 19 days, and it was just tailored. I just wanted to be able to experience an adventure with a guided dedicated driver. And it was absolutely incredible. And when I went and visited the gorillas, I did 4 in Uganda, 5 in Rwanda. And after that experience, I knew that I needed to do something in order to help save gorillas. I didn't know what it was. I live in Edmonton. So what can I do in Canada? So shortly after that, when I got back, I somehow connected with Dr. Cranfield. And Dr. Cranfield was the executive director of Gorilla Doctors. So I became a nonprofit organization June 23rd, 2008. And I have been championing gorilla conservation since then. And in 2014, we were able to get charitable status. So all of the monies that we get, I'm able to do tax receipts. And of course, this really aligns with Rotary and the Rotary's areas of focus. They mesh like beautifully. So we did our first 2 scholarships, and it was having to do, because the environment wasn't part of the areas of focus yet. So we did it for community economic development. But with doing presentations and even with our own club, it started to mesh with people, because at the beginning, people were like, what are you talking about? You're talking about gorillas. And now it's very well embraced by many people, many clubs, and even Rotary International. We were invited to, like via Zoom, to present the One Health scholarships to Rotary International. And it wasn't just the scholarship or the grants part of international, it was open to everybody. And there was over 100 people on Zoom with us. And I had Adrian and I had Theophil that did the presentation. They completely embraced it. So we have done the Mountain Gorilla Conservation Society of Canada. We've done a third scholarship, and his name is Jackson. He is from Tanzania, and he is currently at the Macquarie University in Uganda, Kampala. And so what I want to do is I would like to, through funds that we have raised and through Rotary and our lovely district and other Rotary clubs, I am trying to, we are trying to get 2 scholarships so that we can carry on this legacy. And we will do this for as long as we possibly can. So that's how it all came. And it had to do, I had an encounter with a juvenile from one of my treks, and it was just absolutely incredible. But yeah, and you know what? And it's like, you always hear from people, one person can make a difference, because that one person will have the energy and the passion in order to be able to attract others, to be able to do common good in the world.
Question, what was the encounter with the juvenile, and actually what do you have for breakfast?
I don't have bananas. I have toast and coffee. I love my sourdough toast and coffee. What I did was, and if you're ever on a gorilla trek, and if there's ever a gorilla that touches you, there will never be, like, no cameras, no pictures, no nothing. So what happened was, there was this juvenile that had taken my hand and walked, and we sat down together, and the guide was like, back up, and no pictures, no pictures. And what happened was, this was my moment. We sat down, and he or she put their hand on my head and then went down with his fingers on my face. And in that split second, I felt like Diane Fossey.
Yeah.
It flashed in my mind. And I thought to myself, this is just like Diane Fossey. And that gorilla was, I knew that gorilla was not going to harm me. And I just thought to myself, this is exactly how Diane Fossey felt. And we sat there. You know what? I honestly don't know how long we sat there for. But then the ranger wanted me to get up and get away from the gorilla, but it wasn't me that went to the gorilla. It was the gorilla that went to me, because there has to be a huge amount of respect, right? No communication, like no hand, no touching, no nothing, right? So then he tried to get me up, and I was like this, and the gorilla was still hanging on and kept on hanging on. And then a few seconds later, he let go. And I swear to God, that was the greatest moment of my entire life. That's it. Yeah,
That's all
that
right.
was it. Did you like the
Amazing.
presentation?
Yes, it was great. So what's the total cost of the two scholarships that you're talking about?
The
That's my
total cost
question,
is, you're
too.
looking at like $80,000 US. So they're roughly
Okay.
$40,000 each. And what I
Right.
do is I work hand in hand with the candidates, and I will, like, we're talking hand in hand the whole way through. I don't just give the money. It's different when you're talking about students and scholarships, and it's different than a different regular grant program. But needless to say, I walk through them every step of the way, and my reports are very detailed, and everything gets documented. So that's
Have you applied for a global grant for this project, or is that, do they give global grants
Yeah,
for
that's
that?
what we're doing. We're doing
you
global
are.
grants.
Oh,
This
you
is
are.
a
Oh,
global
oh,
grant, yeah.
nice.
And
Okay.
Adrian and Phil were also global grants. Actually, this was unheard of. And we were actually awarded 3 global grants, as I had 3 candidates and they all got accepted. But then the one candidate backed out because there had been a different opportunity that I didn't know of. So he had gone to Belgium for a year and anyways, he's now getting his PhD. But
Oh.
anyways, that was to me a very heartbreak. But
Hmm.
again, it's all for the good cause. And we did put two through very, very successfully. And that's how we roll. That's the only way to do it. And that's how we roll. So I hope that, oh, yes.
Yeah, I just want to say a few words on that. Yeah, a scholarship is a global grant. You know, and that's what you had applied for. And last year it didn't go because it was all in place, it's all lined up. It's just that due to life circumstances of the person taking on that scholarship, it didn't happen. And so we carried on, and I know that Jasper Rotary Club put in money for that. I've forgotten how much money we put in. I think it's $2,000 US.
Yeah, it was 2000 something. Yeah.
Yeah. And it'd be good to know about that too, because I know now you want 2 global grants, and
yes, definitely 2.
We don't have a global grant going yet in our club, other than one that's active, and so we've got some funds that we could put in, so we'll consider that.
Okay.
Also, I just wanted to mention to you guys that once again, you always have to do your grant certification, which takes place in March and April, and keeps you in line for doing the global grant. And then with the global grants, this incentive for other clubs to partner with you, it's a dollar for dollar matching that is up to $10,000 per club, not for project. So to think of that when you're thinking about doing a match for this project. I just want to say on a personal note, I had that guerrilla experience too in Rwanda, and my husband worked with these guerrilla doctors as well for conservation, and had the absolutely incredible opportunity to go up and be with the guerrillas. There is that safe zone for people and for guerrillas to stay apart from each other. And in our case too, the silverback gorilla came up against behind me and dragged his arm right across my back. And I'll tell you, when you mentioned that's one of the most beautiful moments of your life, wow, it really was a moment. So they're pretty precious. Our world is pretty precious. The environment's precious, and for a global grant to match and touch on all 4 areas of focus of well, even more than 4 areas of focus for Rotary values. That's phenomenal. It's great. It's a great project. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Just we'll be in touch. District will support clubs putting money into this project. Right now we have you slotted for $15,000 DDF if it's matched. It may go up if there's two scholarships that go. So
yeah, there'll definitely be 2 scholarships.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful.
thank you so much. And again, I hope that you consider partnering with us. And I hope that you have enjoyed my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was great. Okay, I believe next on the agenda is Patrick going to talk about foundation challenge in our club.
Yes, thanks very much for the opportunity. We'll be looking at the same project that we did last year with the matching money on foundation contributions, and hopefully we can earmark those contributions to Polio Plus. So November is foundation month, so we will be getting up to speed. We may send out pledge letters this year to each club member. And that give them the opportunity to actually make a pledge and then follow up with it after. And we'll set it up so money can be sent directly to Keith. And then when the program is done, then we can make the allocations to the foundation. So it'll be a good way to hopefully get our contributions up a little bit more. And we certainly have matching points that we can take and use that aren't basically they just sit there from year to year, and we don't use them. So this is an opportunity to put them to work. So if you put in 100, we'll match 100, and you'll get the credit for a $200 contribution to the foundation.
So when you say give money to Keith, how's that happening? So we don't go online to My Rotary and do anything then?
No, well, we send it. You can do it, but you have to let Keith know, because Keith feeds the information to me, and then we know how much we have to match.
Okay.
That's the way we did it last year, and sometimes I think it's easier if it just goes straight to Keith.
Yeah.
Because he's feeding the data back to me as to who's participated, and then we know how much we have to match, etc.
And is it through the regular e-transfer route with the to Rotary
Yep.
e-club?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. When you do it, just make sure you put a note on it that
What it's
you're
for?
doing is
Yeah.
for, the contribution program, and
Okay.
then Keith will know then that he has to let me know who's making the contributions.
Patrick,
So-
I'm going to send you an email after this because we had a power outage, so we missed the entire explanation. So I'll email you after. Okay.
Sure, certainly. Yep.
And maybe if you did some kind of a paragraph or a blurb for the bulletin, I'll make sure it's in each one in November.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. We can do that. We'll have a little more coverage
Yeah.
this year than we had last year. It was kind
Yeah.
of a trial program last year.
Yes.
We had some members participate in it, but not as many as I had hoped we would have participate.
Right.
So I think we'll put a little more, maybe, a little more into it this year. Like I said, in the fact of maybe sending out pledge letters as a reminder to people,
Right.
and we'll go that route too. So.
Okay.
And do
I
we
just have a question. While Libby's here, is there a deadline for that Miss Vicky challenge?
Thanks for asking that question. I was just going to ask about this contribution program. Are you guys talking about putting money into polio? If you're going to put money into polio, the Miss Vicky challenge runs all year.
Okay.
We have it in two sections. Right now is the hype to start it, and it's looking like we have 100,000. We're very close to having 100,000 in our treasure cake, in the treasure box inside, that's locked inside of the Miss Vicky. And our goal is to put contributions into that, to open that, and so then that will double our money. So anything to do with polio, if you can put it into the Miss Vicky challenge, then it will be matched. Then again, it'll go to TRF Canada, and it will be matched again by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
So Libby, will we be able to do the basic match at the ground level for our members?
Yep.
So that means we're gonna have 3 matches on this.
Yeah.
Potentially. That's pretty awesome. That's got some real weight behind it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
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 That's
And
exciting.
we already have, like, our club just sent in $500 Canadian to the Miss Vicky's challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and thank you. I saw that. Thanks for that.
Yeah. So yeah, that'd be the way to donate for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Kim, you'd also mentioned maybe a quick blurb on Kiva.
Yeah.
You okay with that?
Yep. We got
Okay,
time. Yep.
Can I do a screen share then?
Yep. Go ahead.
While you're doing that, I just want to ask Libby, is Miss Vicky coming to Edmonton? Because had an email saying they had some car problems on the way.
Miss Vicky made it to the American border. Unfortunately, she blew a gasket in her engine. She's 90. I think she's 94 years old, and it was. They didn't expect that. I mean, they had snow tires on her, and they had a block heater put in, and everything, and they had her all tuned up. But something happened, of course, and so Miss Vicky is in repairs right now, and
Everybody's frozen.
be able to get her into Edmonton at some point when she's repaired, and drive it around. And then they're also hoping, of course, to get her up to like in the second phase of or the second push of our contributions to polio, to end polio now. In Whitehorse will be the she'll be there in Whitehorse.
So what is the planned event still going on?
The planned event has been going on. It's very exciting. We are getting some major donors, which is just absolutely wonderful. And I think I didn't look at it this morning, but the money is starting to build, and the hype is starting to build on the Miss Vicky. If you go into the donate button, you don't actually have to do it. Well, it's great if you donate, but you can look in that donation button, and you can see all of the donations coming in. And right now, last night it was at 6,900. So it's coming.
And what about the event tomorrow?
Yeah, the wonderful things that are happening at Lee and Winston have been going to all the clubs. They started in Jasper. They went to Edson. From Edson, they went to Drayton Valley this morning. They're in Nisku-Leduc. Then they're going to go back to Drayton Valley to do a presentation. So it's all about advocacy, awareness, and fundraising. It's exciting. And then this evening, they'll be at Southeast Edmonton at the Carindera Filipino restaurant for a supper there with that club there. If you're interested in joining them, just call Victoria Irward to see if they have space for you. Yeah, and then as for Friday, the 24th, we just want to do all of us Rotarians just come out under the bridge, get of the purple light down by the Kinsman Park, and get your photograph.
And what time is that again? It's 5 to 6?
That's 6 to 7.
6 to 7. So if anybody that lives around the Edmonton area wants to go down there, that would be great.
Yeah, get a group picture, 6 to 7. We'll have our polio. We'll have the polio moose, the actual moose walking around out there. So you'll know where us Rotarians are. And basically it's advocate and you're all doing some wonderful work. It's people in action that makes a difference to the world. And it is our promise to the children of the world to eradicate polio. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Libby.
Before we move off of talking about polio, I was talking with Jan Gillette, Kim, and I've got her contact information and things, and I'll be doing an introduction. She's the woman that is in charge of Hope Beverly House Society. But she shared with me that the Stony and Spruce After Dark clubs are meeting tonight, Pints for Polio at the Canadian Brew House in Spruce Grove. So I'm not really sure. I don't know, Jim, if you've heard, if you know what time it is. It's a $10 ticket, and all the money from the tickets go to polio.
Yeah,
so
I think it's at 7 o'clock. Is it at the brew house now? It was at there's a pub in Spruce Grove that it's typically at.
Well, she said to me Thursday night at brew house. So
yeah, so that's Edmonton Mayfield that's putting that on, and it's the old No, the Odd Company Brewing, and on 9959 76th Avenue, Edmonton, and it's taking place at 7 till 9:30.
Yeah, there's Libby, there's another one too.
Oh, sorry.
It's the Stony Plain Parkland After Dark and Spruce Grove clubs.
Okay.
Let me just find, we have tickets for it. Let me just find the actual place. So let me disappear.
I'm glad I asked. Like she just sent me the info last night, so I don't have a ticket. But if I can if I can get one, then I might take my husband along with me. So he is retiring the end of November, so I'm gonna be kind of just putting the tow rope on him and towing him into Rotary. So
Tell them it's a retirement party.
well, yeah, it's he's not really sure how he feels about after working since he was 14, but he's going to need things. I'm just going to say to him, he's going to need things to keep himself occupied. So Rotary's
buy him a float plane, Lois.
Oh, just be quiet. Like we have some money put aside and he keeps going, that's for my plane. And when I sent him your picture, he was like, oh, shut up.
Anyway, Patrick, on the Kiva situation, are you still okay with the odd contribution from individual members to send to you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The more the merrier.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I understand there's members that aren't really interested in setting up their own Kiva account and making contributions through that, and that's fine. Though we do have a handful of members that have done that, and thank you for doing that. But absolutely, you can send money. You can send it directly to me. I can give you the email address, and then we can move it into into Kiva.
I have to say, Neil, though, that when I get my little email that says someone's paying me back, it's a really nice feeling.
Yeah. No, I tried to set up an account and I might have got squirreled, but I said, why don't I just use the RECCO account? So
well, you did set one up because it does show on the list.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's there. But yeah, it's I'll let Jim finish with what you were talking about, the foundation information there, if you found one.
Yeah, I've got the tickets here, our tickets. I'm sure there's going to be tickets there as well. It's $10 a ticket. And it's at the Beer Hunter. That's where traditionally they have it in the Spruce Grove. And they donate a percentage of the food and beverage sales there. So you just buy a ticket, go there, have a couple of beers or whatever, and order some wings, and there's a percentage gets donated back to Polio Plus. Called Pints for Polio.
Great.
Thanks
for that. Every little bit helps.
So do you know where where I'd be able to get tickets, or do you think that I'll be able to just get them at the door?
I'm pretty sure they're going to sell some there, but I'll check on that for you, Lois.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Yep. Because especially if you're going to be there, then I'll just really say to Lenny, he needs to come too. So then you guys can squirrel away in a corner.
Have a couple of
motorcycles.
Yeah. And talk bikes.
Because he's retiring. So, next spring, you're going to be able to come and help him put together your guys' dream bike,
Oh, yeah. I'd love to.
If you help him, he'll let you ride
it. Yeah. Oh, okay, Patrick, the floor is yours.
Yep, great. Well, I think I don't think there's any illusions on the passion that I have for Kiva. I started using Kiva 13 years ago, and I personally have made just over 570 loans. And it's an amazing program, and the opportunity to put money right in the hands of people that need it with no middleman is really pretty interesting. And like Kim says, when you get that notification every month that X number of people have paid money back to you, when of course as it builds up in your account, the idea is you take it and you lend it back out again. So we started a club account 14 months ago, I think now. And we started off at loan 1, and we have just made our 74th loan.
Wow.
And our focus has certainly been on education. That's been one that when I sent the information form around to club members, that was the one that came back. Most people, definitely education is a key one, and agriculture is another one that got a lot of hits. So those are the areas that I kind of focus on when I'm making loans. And Africa, it seems to be a big was a focus at the same time, and some in Central America, but mostly in Africa. So that's where our loans have been going in over the last little bit over a year. In my experience of working on it, I mean, I learned the hard way when we started out with my other club 13 years ago. And there were mistakes we made, not realizing, that on some countries, you're not going to get all your money back from a loan that you make because of currency risk. And that's kind of the silent one that slips in, and you'll make a loan somewhere for $25 and you'll get 23 back, and you wonder why. But the loan's considered paid. You wonder why you only got 23 back. When you read the fine print, it's currency risk. Well, then I start to notice a pattern that there are certain countries that are prone to currency risk. Their currency moves a lot in conjunction with the US dollar. So in the process of finally recognizing some of this, I started eliminating those countries from making loans. I just stopped making loans to them. And there were other countries that loans ending in default was also higher than the norm. So over time, I filtered them out of the process. So about 2 years ago, I sat down, I went through every country that I had made loans to personally, and picked the top 5 countries that I had lent to that had the lowest rate of default and the lowest rate of loans being paid back but were delinquent. And I put together a short list. And so I make all my loans into that list now. I don't make them anywhere else. I still put them in education, I still put them in agriculture, but they only go into these 5 or 6 countries that I've identified. I copied that same criteria over, and it was really great to do, starting with our program, because it's a clean slate, right? I'm not trying to move the needle from mistakes that were made 13 years ago. I'm starting with a clean slate and all the information that I gained from 13 years ago. So I want to show you this. This is the graph, the chart that I put together. You can see over here that the top 5 countries that we are lending to right now are Uganda, Georgia, the Philippines, Pakistan, and Kenya. Those are the ones we're putting the most money into, and like I said, education and things are large components of those. But when you get over here, this is the number that I am really proud of. Ended in default. 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. And that's the number I'm trying to keep that going forward. Paying back delinquent, same thing. There's not a single one that is paying back delinquent. Because paying back delinquent is the next step to ending in default. Now, a lot of the ones that are paying back delinquent, Kiva works with them. They'll extend the terms, whatever it takes to get the loan paid back. But sometimes it just doesn't happen. and so you end up with a loss. So just by the fact that we don't have any ended in default and we don't have any paying back delinquent, and we're not investing into countries where currency risk is a real issue, we get the highest percentage of the money that we lend back, which means that we have more to lend back out each month. So the more that comes in, the more there is to go out without these other factors nibbling away at your capital.
And
So it's I mean, it's, well, like I said, I think it's a great program. It's an awesome program, and I'm thankful that the club allowed me to enjoy my passion with it, for share it with the club and get a club account set up. And I think we have the fact that we've done 74 loans already in just a little over a year is pretty impressive. And
and Patrick, just to comment on that, you wonder, I didn't realize I set up my own, but I think I realize I rather rely on your expertise. So what little I'm able to contribute to the club account, at least I know it's going to be an effective amount of contribution. In other words, with no default, no delinquent or whatever. So that's why.
Yep.
That's why I encourage, if anyone wants to, do it, contribute to the RECCO one, and use Patrick's expertise there. Patrick, you can slip me 20 later on, okay, for that comment.
Yeah, sure thing. I will put it in Kiva.
But Patrick, I have to warn everybody, this Kiva becomes addictive. So because of Patrick, we started a personal account. Our club in Medicine Hat didn't want to start an account because they don't have a credit card, so they use mine. But first of all, I am so astounded. We've only had one default, but we're now in the 89th percentile of giving. But what amazes me is how much I learn about how money is important in small amounts. So there might be 13 people who have paid back and it's only $130. But for them to put such small amounts of money into pay back their loans, I look at what do we do there? A cup of coffee, a hot cider at Starbucks.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
for them, it's a payback amount, and it is so humbling and so awareness making that I'm so grateful that you introduced us to Kiva.
In a lot of these countries, it is a status symbol to get a Kiva loan, because not everybody can get one. You have to meet certain criteria, but it's even a bigger status symbol to pay the loan back. And then some people go back and get a second one because they've expanded their business off the first loan. They've paid it back. Now they see the potential of expanding again off of a second loan, and they go and successfully get a second loan and continue the growth train in their company. It has a lot of status for people that can't work with a regular bank because the regular bank is not interested in working with them. Their business isn't big enough. They don't have the time to work with them. This is the only access they have to any sort of money to expand their businesses. All the years I was in the construction business, we always had a line of credit. So if you needed a new piece of equipment, you just went and bought it. These people are going to Kiva and setting up Kiva loans to get the money to expand their businesses. And the one thing about, if you're making loans in your own account, you can make loans in areas that mean something to you. If you look at the majority of the loans I've made, they're in the construction industry. I'm a carpenter by trade. I ran my own construction company for years. And I understand the concept of buying a piece of equipment, taking a year to pay for it, but using that piece of equipment for the next 10 years. And the benefit that piece of equipment allows you in your business, it allows you to do your job faster, it allows you to do it better. I understand that. There's industries I don't understand. I don't understand the retail industry at all. I've sat and looked at it, and we all know there's tons of retail loans on Kiva. But I keep thinking that if you're not making enough off the product you're selling to pay yourself, plus have enough to buy your next round of inventory, you're doing something wrong.
Mhm.
We see that all the time. So I shy away from those ones, but I understand the construction ones, and they're the ones that talk to me. And that's most months. That's where like I make a monthly contribution to Kiva, and then I put it into a loan. Most months, that's where it goes. It goes to some sort of construction related loan where somebody's looking for a piece of property or a piece of equipment, and I can help them with that. I also like infrastructure. I had one in South Africa, a successful greenhouse operator had lost the plastic covering off 2 of 3 greenhouses in a windstorm, and went to Kiva to get a loan to recover those greenhouses so that she could keep her business running. So things like that, again, that talks to me. It's a one-time purchase, but it gives you many years of benefit. And those are really the ones I'm kind of looking for. And I guess in a way, you could look at education and say the same thing. It's a one-time investment, give you a lifetime of benefit.
Okay, well, that's great. Patrick, thanks for sharing your passion. Judy, did you have anything to finish up with?
Well, just want to thank everybody for being here. It was such an interesting meeting, the whole thing. Thank you to Raemonde for giving us such a nice presentation and telling us all about your project, and we'll certainly be discussing that. Thank you, Patrick, for talking about Kiva and about polio. Thank you, Libby, for coming and for telling us more about the polio Miss Vicky challenge, etc. Great meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
all.
everybody.
Great day. Yeah.
Bye.